Well, blessings to all of you watching this word today. I have an encouraging word I want to release over you. And literally, this is a word. This word has been following me around this week. I've been seeing it everywhere on social media. When I go out, I'm hearing this word spoken. What in the world? But I believe the Lord has something to say about this word. It's kind of a funny word, so stick with me because I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to share what I feel like the Lord is saying. I'm going to pray for you at the end. So we're going to jump right in, and I'm going to talk to you about the seasons that have seasoned you. This last season that you have just come out of, I believe the Lord has used to season you, and it's been necessary for what you are about to step into. You know, a lot of people have gone through fiery trials, so many difficult challenges, but the Lord hasn't just used that fiery trial to refine you. He's actually used it to season you. And I believe that that seasoning was necessary, and it's going to cause you to be so full of flavor. It's going to be the thing that flavors your next season. You're going to see it. Everything that you've walked through, you're going to see why the Lord did it and how it benefits your future season. I want to read to you guys 1 Peter 4:12-13. It says, "Beloved, do not think it strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you as though some strange thing happened to you. But rejoice to the extent that you partake of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory is revealed, you may also be glad with exceeding joy." I want to read Mark 9:49-50. "For everyone will be seasoned with fire, and every sacrifice will be seasoned with salt. Salt is good, but if salt loses its flavor, how will you season it? Have salt in yourselves and have peace with one another." I believe the Lord is asking us to be salty. That seasoning the Lord has used to deposit salt in your life. He wants us salty. He wants us full of flavor. The Bible has a lot to say about when you are full of salt. Do you know that when you are so saturated with salt, it actually causes you to be so seasoned, even your heart. Now, when your heart is seasoned, then your words are going to be seasoned, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And I believe that when you are seasoned, your heart is seasoned, out of your mouth will come grace. Out of your mouth will come, you'll release peace out of your mouth. Because when your words are seasoned with salt, your words are actually considered, according to the Bible, to be full of grace. And that grace, that seasoning, just like salt in the natural is used to preserve, salt in the natural is used to bring out the best flavors. Salt in the natural can be used to soothe and to heal. I believe that the salt the Lord has deposited on your life from the last season, He will use to cause you to function, to release grace. And that grace is going to bring preservation. It's going to bring healing. It's going to soothe. It's going to bring a peace into the atmosphere to all those around you. With everything that you do, everywhere you go, peace will be released because of the grace that you carry. And so that's just the word that I want to release over you guys. And I want to share why I'm talking about this, why I'm talking about this being salty, because I have seen this word. This is the word spicy, being spicy. I have seen it everywhere. It is so funny. I bet you guys have heard it or seen it somewhere. It would not surprise me in the least if you're like, yes, I've heard that word. I've seen that. People are saying it. I've seen it. I've seen it at Starbucks. They've just released a drink at Starbucks, a new spicy drink. I went to go have coffee with a friend and just meet with her yesterday, and we met at Starbucks, and there I see this big thing on spicy, and after my whole spicy week that I had, it got my attention. This week, I made a batch of biltong. And so for all my South African friends, I know you know what that is. It's like one of my most favorite things to eat. It's my favorite snack. I could live on it. So biltong is just dried meat, but it's the spices that are used that really makes it so distinct. And it's not like jerky. I feel like I'd be insulting biltong if I called it jerky, because it's not smoked. It's a dried meat, but it's preserved through spices and through vinegars. And so you put a lot of spices, salt and different spices on there. Coriander is the thing that really gives it its distinctive flavor. And so this week I was building a whole batch of biltong, but I made like way more than I normally make, because I thought if I could just like pre-build all the spices, then, and my light just went out. Sorry for you guys if you noticed, it just got dark. And so I made this big batch, and I thought if I can just have all these spices on hand, then when I make my next batch, then it's all good. And so I make this massive batch. Now, this is a recipe that my dad has given me, and I love this recipe. But my dad likes his biltong spicy, and so he puts a lot of chili in his biltong. And I usually put like a fraction, But because I made such a big batch, I just was following it, and I just multiplied. Like, okay, well, we're going to make 5 times this much of this batch. And so I put in all that chili. And so we started eating it this week, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so spicy. I'm just recognizing how much spice I'm actually taking in. But I believe the Lord wants us to be spicy. And the world has this really distorted view on being spicy. Their idea of spicing things up is just so twisted and distorted, and their view, the world's view on spicing things up, really draws you away from God. But I believe that God has something to say about being spicy, and it's going to draw you closer to his heart. It's going to cause you to be on fire for him. It will cause you to be more in love with him. It will cause you to be more fervent for him. I just saw this thing on Facebook. Somebody had posted a clip. It was a video clip from a news thing. Somebody was on the news talking about this. And it was a transgender person, I think, that was sharing this. But they were saying how you can identify, outside of all these different things that you can identify as, you can now identify, this has been added, you can identify as a season. And so somebody in the comments misunderstood that, and they thought it was like, okay, season, like I can identify as seasoning. And so they commented just yet again. They were like, well, I always wanted to identify as spicy. I want to be spicy. And then somebody was like, no, we're not talking about seasoning. We're talking about seasons. And I just think that's so funny that, you know, I'm seeing so much of this spiciness, and I'm seeing the distorted view of it. I'm seeing the world's view on all of these things. And I believe the Lord is really saying right now, you know, the last season that you came out of, I've used to deposit salt in your life. Even as the world gets darker, even as the world becomes more twisted, even as the world continues to really shun the Lord more and more and more, he is calling a bride without spot and wrinkle, who will be fervent, who will rise up and say, oh God, I will be salty for you. Oh God, I will be fervent for you. Oh God, I will release grace. God, I will release peace wherever I go. God, I will burn for you. God, I will be your mouthpiece, and everything that comes out of my mouth will be so seasoned with salt. As I've allowed you, God, into every circumstance, into every trial that I have been through, God, I thank you that you're going to use me. And that's what I feel like the Lord is speaking right now. That's what I feel like the call is right now. So I just want to wrap up. I want to pray for you guys. And I just want to release this charge, because I believe the Lord is saying he wants you salty. Be spicy for Jesus. Do it his way, not the world's way. That is what he wants. And I tell you, there is nothing more beautiful than doing things the Lord's way. So right now, I just lift up each and every single one of you. First off, everybody that has gone through the fiery trials, Lord, I bless them. God, I thank you that they have come out of that season, Lord. But I thank you that you used it, God, to refine, to make them salty, God, to deposit that salt into their life. And Lord, I thank you that you're using that salt in their life, even right now, to heal the wounds from the last season. But Lord, I thank you that that salt has changed them. That salt has caused them to become so full of flavor that wherever they go in this next season, people are going to recognize that salt on their life. People are going to say, wow, you're different. You are so full of flavor. There is nothing lukewarm. There is nothing unflavorless about you. You are so full of flavor. And as you speak, I feel it. That salt in your life just comes out of you. You just radiate the peace peace of God. You just release the grace of God, and it's so healing, and it's so soothing, and it's such a blessing. And so I just release that grace upon you to operate, to release the salt in your life that the Lord has deposited in you. I bless you, and I just thank you, God, for healing them. God, I thank you for the new season. God, I thank you that you are going to use them powerfully in this season. Be spicy for Jesus. I bless you guys in the mighty name of Jesus. And listen, if you're not following me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, like, share this with your friends, help me to get this word out. I believe that you will be blessed. I want to see you burn for Jesus. I want to see you walk in the fullness of who God called you to be. So until next time, bless you guys, and thanks for watching.